Hi, I am excited. This video is about starting a business during the pandemic. Was it worth it? If you are interested, stay tuned and you will see the steps that I took and was it worth it opening a business during the pandemic. So the question is, was it worth it? Hell yes, it was worth it. Hell yes, it was worth it. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, it's your baby, it's your business. You're going to have to work hard regardless. Regardless if it's a pandemic or it's not a pandemic, you are going to have to work hard. So yes, it was worth it. So let's go over the steps that you have to take to open a business. Because a lot of people ask me, my business is Dawn Marie Collection. We opened on October 3rd, 2020. So we are a new company. However, we have been pretty successful. So we are going to go, I'm going to go over the different steps of how to open your own business. I get questions all the time of what to do. How do you do it? I'm scared. I'm not quite sure. So we're going to go over that. Okay. So step number 1, know what you want to do. Know what you're passionate about. Because when you have a business, you are going to do or deal with that business all day, every day. It is more work than a 9 to 5. Because when you go to a 9 to 5, you clock out at 5 and that's it. When it's your own business, it is 24 hours. So be passionate. Like my passion was clothes. I'm a thicker. I got all of this. So my passion was I love to dress nice. I love to get dressed. And I wanted to have a boutique for women from all sizes, small to 3X. So know what you are passionate about. Know what you want to do. Know that this is something that you are going to push and promote all day, every day. So you have to love it, okay? So that's the first thing. Know what you want to do. So once you figure out what you want to do, we're going to go on my journey. Mine was clothes. I figured out that I wanted to do clothes. So after I figured out that I wanted to do clothes, I said, I need to get an EIN, a tax ID number. Now, these are the steps I took. I can't tell you about anybody else. This is just the steps that I took. Okay. So I went and I registered. It's very simple. I'm talking about the state of Virginia because I'm in Virginia. So I went online. I Googled tax ID. It came up. I got my tax ID. Now, let's rewind back because the second thing that you need to do is you need to think of a business name. And it has to be meaningful, or you have to know that this is going to be a name for the long run. You can change the name. I'm not saying that you can't change the name. However, it's going to take steps for you to change the name, because you're going to put the name on your EIN when you register for it, your business license for the state when you register for it. So just think of something that you're going to use for the long run. My company is Dawn Marie Collection. My first name is Dominique. My middle name is Marie. Put it together, Dawn Marie. That's meaningful to me. So that is the name of my brand. I'm just going to advise to have a name that you can foresee in the future. Okay? Some people come up with businesses, they think of like a name right then and there. They don't like it, then they change it. Sometimes that confuses your audience and your customers because you change the name. So I would advise to think of a name that means something to you and that you can use in the long run. Okay? So after you get the name, then you register for the EIN. And that's what I did. So I got my tax ID number and I was happy. I was like, okay, I'm doing something. I'm excited. Step number 3. I got my little notebook here, y'all. So that's what I'm looking down at, so I don't forget. But step number 3, you are going to research. Research. I cannot say that. Like, I research for months. And it doesn't have to be that long. If you know exactly what you want to do, you know exactly where to go, or when you Google, it comes up like this and you can find it, that's good. But you need to research and find wholesalers or vendors that is going to sell you the product that you want to sell to your consumer. For example, let's get a little bit more specific. Clothing. That's what I wanted to do. But what type of clothing do you want to sell? Do you want to sell sports clothing, leisure clothing, onesie, sleepwear, lingerie? What do you want to do specifically? So when you find out specifically what you want to do, then find a wholesaler that will sell that item to you. Okay? Now, I specifically use fashiongo.net, lashowroom.com, and Orangeshine. What these are websites that are a big umbrella, and it has hundreds of wholesalers underneath them. So you go, you search, you find wholesalers, and you get it from there. Now, what people don't tell you is some of these wholesalers have minimum amounts. For example, you can find a wholesaler that you truly love, and their minimum order that you have to purchase from them is $200. Or their minimum order, MOQ, which is minimum order quantity, is you have to buy 50. So you have to look out for that, because when you're starting off as a business, if your bag ain't that big, you're not gonna need all of that inventory. You know what I'm saying? So if you are looking at a wholesaler, for example, let's say you're selling cocktail dresses, and you find a wholesaler named Cocktail Dresses USA, okay? You find them, you're like, okay, this is exactly what I want. I love this dress. I want to sell this dress. Their minimum order is $200. You have to spend $200 with them, but you only want one dress. So you have to look into that and figure that out. See, a lot of people don't tell you that. I had to learn that the hard way. So just remember that some vendors or wholesalers, you can use the word interchangeably, wholesaler vendors, have a minimum order as in the amount, or minimum order quantity as in how many pieces you are going to get. Okay. Now there's other places like Alibaba. Some people go on Instagram. I personally don't do Alibaba. I've had bad experiences with Alibaba. I'm not knocking Alibaba at all, but I can only tell you from my experience. I've ordered stuff from them. I've got it. I've ordered other stuff from them. I still ain't get it. So I personally don't do that. I know Alibaba, a lot of people run to Alibaba because they don't have a minimum order quality. Sometimes you can get 1, 2, or 3 things, but it does take a while for you to get it. Okay. So to each his own. You want to do that? Hey, do it. But that's not for me. You know, I use LA Showroom, Orangeshine.com, and fashiongo.net. Fashiongo.net is my ish. Okay, I use that all the time. Also, what I want to tell you about LAShowroom.com that people don't tell you that I had to learn on my own, so I'm going to give you a little tea. If you are a first-time buyer with LA Showroom, they want to see that you have purchased with a vendor before they will give you access to all of their wholesalers. So they're going to ask you for an invoice. If you do not have an invoice, like I did not have an invoice because this is my first time purchasing, they will give you just limited wholesalers that you can purchase from. So they either want you to purchase from those limited wholesalers first so they can trust you basically and give you access to the other wholesalers, or you have to upload other invoices from other companies. So what I did was the specific vendors that they showed me or wholesalers, it wasn't for my company. It wasn't for my brand. I didn't like them, so I couldn't purchase anything from them. So I went to fashiongo.net and I purchased from them. Once I got my inventory and my invoice, I then uploaded it to LA Showroom and showed them that I had purchased from a vendor before. And then they allowed me to have access to all of their vendors. So I would advise, if this is your first time purchasing inventory from a wholesaler, do not start with LA Showroom unless the vendors that they show you is something that you can purchase or you can use for your company. Then go ahead. By all means, go ahead. But fashionglow.net and orangeshine.com does not give you restrictions at first. All right. So once you research, you find your wholesaler. We did cocktail dresses. We found a cocktail dress wholesaler. Then purchase your inventory. Purchase it. Pay attention to the details. This is on anything. I don't care if you're selling sneakers, lashes, clothing. Pay attention to the details or ask for samples. Some companies or wholesalers have samples. Some do not. If they do, I would advise to get that sample. Once you get the sample, you use it, you feel it, you see if this is something that you want to sell because your name is on it. Okay? Then, if all of that is good, purchase. Get your inventory. Okay, so let's talk about inventory. When I started, I had 6 styles. That was it. I had 3 plus size styles and I had 3 regular size styles. It is your preference. It depends on what you want to do, how many pieces you want. And it also depends on how big your bag is. My bag wasn't that big when I started. So I had 6 different styles, but each style was between 3 to 6 pieces. I would advise to start small, then to get big. You don't want to order about 40 different styles of something and you can't sell it. I would recommend to go smaller, and then when you see that you're selling something constantly, then order more. That would make more sense. Okay? So that's my little tidbit on inventory, because also when you start a business, you're still trying to figure out who your audience is, right? So if you have, for example, a black pea coat and a black jumpsuit, but your jumpsuit is selling out and your pea coat is not, then you know that your audience is more for the jumpsuit. So don't go out there and buy 50 pea coats and then you can't sell the 50 pea coats. So it's all up to you how many different styles you want, how many different pieces. But I do advise for you to start small and then gradually get bigger. Okay? Now, while that inventory is coming to you, get the ball rolling. Okay? Don't just sit there and wait for the inventory. There are things that you can be doing, as in making your logo if you haven't made your logo, making your thank you cards, starting your website. Okay? So one thing that I did for my logo is I went on Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. It'll be down below. And I looked for a freelancer. So Fiverr is basically a website of freelancers that do certain different things, from computer programming to logos to websites that will help you out. You pay for their services. So I found a girl on Fiverr. I think I paid about $15, $20 for her to do a logo. She did a logo for me. I liked it. From there, I took the logo. I went and made thank you cards. I went on Canva.com. Let me tell y'all something. Canva is a godsend tool. I mean, you can do anything on Canva and it's free. Now, don't get me wrong. Certain things that you might want, it will say that it's pro and then you will pay for it. But for the most part, you don't need it. Like, Canva has everything. If I knew that I could do my logo on Canva before I paid that girl on Fiverr, I would do my own logo. Okay? But yeah, Canva is everything. I make my thank you cards on Canva. I make my banners for my website on Canva, for my YouTube banner I make on Canva. You can make everything on Canva, and they have a lot of templates that you can use. It is amazing. Okay, so I make my thank you cards on Canva, and what I didn't know that people don't tell you either is you can actually buy them from Canva. So I buy my thank you cards from Canva. After I make it, it gives you an option to print them, and they'll send it to you. It takes about a week and a half for you to get it from your house, and they're not that expensive. So that's what I do. Then the website. I can only tell you about Shopify. I know that there's Shopify. I know that there's Wix. Those are the only two I know about. I only use Shopify. I never use Wix. Shopify is so simple. It is step by step to help you make your website. I mean, it's amazing, and it's very simple. Now, it is free for the first 14 days. After that, you do have to pay the lowest one, which is $29.95. I think it's like $30 a month. Okay? So you start that. I started my website while I was waiting for my inventory to come. No, I couldn't put pictures up because I didn't have the inventory to take the pictures. But I started it. I put my logo up there, decided what theme I wanted, things like that. So you can definitely get the ball rolling while you're waiting for the inventory to come. I ordered my stickers. I got stickers from Avery.com. I uploaded my logo, made stickers for them. I got my poly mailers off of Amazon.com. My thank you cards from Canva. I told you guys that. My business cards from Canva. Made them on Canva. Got them printed, and sent to my house. So I basically did all that while I was waiting for the inventory. Then the inventory came. And I was like, all right, I'm almost there. It's time to take pictures. Let me tell y'all something. You do not need no fancy camera. You do not need no fancy background. You do not need put no ad in to get no random people to do models. Honey, I use my good old Android, because y'all be talking about Androids, okay? And they good. I use my good old Android, my cousin, my friend, me, in the outside. That's how I made my pictures. Okay, let me put some up here so y'all can see. Okay, you don't need that. You don't need all of that fancy stuff where you can put that money into your business. Use what you have around you. I used my cousin. She was a regular size model. I used me as a plus size model. And I used my friend who was in between. And we went outside. We traveled different areas. And my other friend took pictures of us. It was that simple. So you don't need all that stuff. Because when I was looking at YouTube videos, I was like, oh my God, I need all this stuff. And then I realized when I was in that place at that moment, I was like, this can work. Like I can use my phone. I can use the outside. Like the outside is a perfect background. You ain't gotta buy a background. Go outside. So that was perfect. So I got my inventory, and then I took the pictures. After I took the pictures, then I uploaded them on my website. The next thing that I did was I decided that I need to get a bank account, a business bank account, because I don't want to mix my personal money with my business money. Let me tell y'all something. Do not do that. I did that before with the business I had years ago. Didn't work out. Okay. So get yourself a business account. I can only talk about Bank of America. I can't talk about no other banks. That's where I went. So I went to Bank of America. I made an appointment because, of course, we were in COVID. I went there. And let me tell y'all my mistake. Okay, I'm trying to tell y'all some little tidbits so y'all ain't got to make the same mistake as I did. So I went there. I had my paperwork. I had my EIN. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm organized. Okay, I'm so excited. I get there. She asked me for like a business number. I'm assuming it's my EIN. So I give it to her. She puts it in the computer. She's looking in the database. She said, oh, your company's name's not coming out. She was like, did you register in the state of Virginia? And so I explained to her. I said, well, I did my sales tax IDs the same thing. She was like, no. So I'm here to tell you guys register your business in the state of Virginia is something different than getting your sales tax ID number in Virginia. The sales tax is free. The business registration was $100. Okay. So I had to leave her. I had to call the people. I called them. They told me what steps to take. I went home. I did it. Then I made another appointment online for the bank to go back 2 hours later because I was trying to get it done that day. I was not waiting. I went back that day seeing her. And the good thing about when you register for your business, like, it's automatically in there. As soon as you register and you pay, it's in the system. So I went back to the bank. We did everything. That process took about 45 minutes because you got to talk to somebody. You got to tell them all your information. About 45 minutes to an hour. So I opened up the bank account. It did take about a week and a half for the card to come in the mail. So at this point, I'm excited. I'm like, yeah, I got my website, my thank you cards, my business cards, my inventory, my website. Oh, I said it already. In my bank account, right? So I'm excited. Then I was like, all right, the next thing I need to do is I need to hype up my grand opening. Let me tell y'all a little tip. Use your personal Facebook. Use your personal Instagram. Go on Facebook and go into business groups. Join business groups. I joined women business groups, businesses of Virginia, Black-owned businesses. Like, I joined all these groups so I can have more eyes on my grand opening. So I hyped it up. I did it probably 3 days prior to my grand opening. You can do it a week. I've seen some people do it even a month before they open, because that gives you more eyes on your business. That gives you more consumers to see what your business is about, to see they will purchase. I wouldn't recommend just opening a business and just put, hey, my business is open. You could do that, but I would advise to give it some element of surprise, you know? So I joined all those groups. I'd use my own personal Facebook, my own personal Instagram. I posted, what my business is about. It's Marie Collections. We are going to open on this date at this time. And it worked out pretty well for me. So I would give you that little information to hype up your grand opening. 2 days, 3 days, a week before, a month before, whatever you want to do. Just get more people to know that you are going to open up a business. So there's more eyes on your website. So if they do see something they want, they can purchase. Okay. So that's what I did. I was like, okay. So I went on there. I told everybody I was going to open in like 2 or 3 days prior. And I just kept posting like every day, like 2 or 3 days time. I think it was 2 or 3 days prior. I'm not quite sure. But I just kept posting like, we're going to open this time. And I would put little different pictures of the pictures that I took with my friends so they can see what I was going to sell. And I think it was October 3rd at 8 a.m. That was my opening day. October 3rd, 8 a.m. So I was excited. I was like, all right, I got everything in a row. Boom. October 3rd came. When I tell you I was nervous, I was so nervous. And then I posted that day. Like that day, it opened at 8 o'clock. I opened at 8 o'clock. I think I got up around like 6:30. I couldn't sleep. I posted around like 7, opening at 8. Then I waited. When 8 came, I had like a little post that I made off Canva. Tell y'all, go to Canva. And it was like, we're now open. Da 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 da. And then I just heard my phone. Ding, ding, ding. I was like, hold up. Who making money? Am I making money? So I was very excited. I was very excited. So I say all of that, or tell you all of the steps that I did, because I just want you to know to just do it. There's nothing to it but to do it. If you can do those steps and you have those steps, then do it. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to make mistakes. But from those mistakes, you are going to learn. And it's going to make your business better. But there is nothing more fulfilling and gratifying than to have something you call your own that you are passionate about. Because I absolutely love what I do. I love it. I'm fulfilled. So I know somebody out there is just sitting on it and they are scared and they don't want to do it, or they're questioning themselves, or they're putting doubt in their head, because that was me. I did that for about 4 years. So I'm here to tell you, honey, just do it. The only person that's stopping you is you. So move out your own way and show the world what you got. Okay? So, if you like this video, please like it, subscribe it, and comment down below if you have any questions regarding like a business or anything like that, or business related. I can help you on what I've done. I haven't done everything now. I'm saying I haven't done anything. I'm still learning. I'm still going through the process. But if I can tell you something that I've been through, or it can help you, I'll be more than happy to do that. Okay? So you guys have a wonderful day. Bye. And remember, just do it.